Hello again and welcome to a new video. This is our September 2018 on a 68 plate BMW X3 M40i Auto. This car is finished in sapphire black metallic with 31,998 miles and has full service history with BMW. Now we're going to take you around the car. It's got a huge amount of spec on this car. So the early part of the video is going to be going around the outside, talking about some of the spec. Then we're going to jump in the car and go through the iDrive and some of the other options. And then towards the end, we'll show you some of the other features, the roof and how it automatically closes, the engine bay, etc. So if you want to, the videos are quite long, so if you want to sort of fast forward to a section that you want to see, by all means you can do that. The video is in 4K, so you might want to let it buff for a little while and check your settings on your YouTube to check that you've got at least HD or 4K to get a really good picture. Okay, so let's move on. Now the whole vehicle has been really detailed to a very high level, machine polishing, both rotary and orbiting, little bits of paint correction if needed. We will point out any little bits that have been done on the car if there's any, but we'll start down at the front. Now we've got these serene grey grills and inserts down on the bumper, which is sort of like a brassy, sort of bronzy sort of colour, matches with the wing mirrors. Now the car is fitted with the M Sport Plus package. Now you have the option of a 21-inch wheel or the 699 20 inches, which this vehicle's fitted with, but you get all the adaptive suspension, M Sport differential, variable sport steering, which adjusts the weight of the steering wheel. We've also got the Parking Assistance Plus package, which gives you the 360 cameras. Now if I bring it, we've also got Park Assist. I'll get through the list gradually. But if we look at the front of the car, you can see that there's no nasty chips or damage. If we come right in close, you'll get the odd little tiny little speck picked up from the very bright lights above, but there's nothing nasty. All of the headlight lenses are in really nice condition. And as I say, these are the adaptive LED lights. So these lights use the cameras up on the behind the windscreen where the rear view mirror is, and they sense the light coming from vehicles coming the other way, or if you drive into a lit up village, and they will dip the main beam and the headlights will turn with the steering angle of the steering wheel to light the road up really well. Now as you see, I'm just gliding over the front. There are no nasty chips. I think there's a couple of tiny, like 1 millimeter little ones that have been very gently touched in and then flattened, machine polished, so that they're hardly visible, but very, very minor, nothing nasty at all. If we come across the bonnet, can you see that beautiful shine? In fact, this we've flattened polished this bonnet to bring up a really nice shine as well. It's come up really, really nicely. Look at the shine. It's incredible. And then we've also got the windscreen. All the windscreen's okay. And then we've got the panoramic roof, another expensive option. We've got the shadow line finish on the roof bars, which is the black gloss to match all the windows, etc. There's no nasty marks on the paintwork up here either. Everything's in really nice condition. Now, what I would like to do is come down low either side of the vehicle. Now we've got quite a lot of reflection on this side, so we're just going to zoom in. But you'll see that all the panels really nice and true. What we're looking for is ripples. There's no ripples in the paintwork. It's not had any nasty paintwork in its lifetime or anything. So that's all in really nice condition on that side. And if we come round to this side, do the same. There's less in the background on this side, so you can see what I'm talking about with these panels, just how true they are. And it all goes to show what a lovely vehicle this is and the way that we've prepped the vehicle. There aren't many garages that will prepare the cars to the level that we do here as a small independent. If I just come back up, let's just zoom out. Let's see the vehicle from this side. I'll just move around the front. I've got the radar at the bottom below the number plate for the adaptive cruise control that we have. We've got the driving assistant plus package as well. It's a £2,000 option alone on this vehicle. So there's thousands of pounds worth of options on this car. Most of them are very usable options as well. They're very practical, useful things to have on the vehicle. So there's the side view. Now if we come in and look at these wheels, you can see we've got the M Sport brakes. Just zoom in. There we go. You can see those big M Sport brakes. Like I say, with the 20s, you get a little bit more tyre depth, which helps with the ride of the car as well. The other thing is like the adaptive suspension, which is very important, I believe, on these. Some of them don't have it, and the ride is just not the same. It's much more bumpy, where this is a lot more supple in the comfort mode, and then you can stiffen it up in the sport mode. And there's the rear wheel. We've also got keyless entry, so we can lock the doors with the key in our pocket. We've got a little like serrated, let me just get that in focus. There's a little, 3 little lines there, like a little serrated bit. And then we can lock with that, hand in, and that will unlock like so. And there are also little LED lights under there. And what we can't see, I will try and take a picture, but can you see the LED lights shining out from there? And that puts like some large, like almost angel wings down the side. In fact, you can almost make them out. Not very well, but they shine all the way down to the back wheel. Let's just come back. We'll walk round the back to the other side. Show you the back of the car. We will come back to the rear of the car in a second. Just going to do the rear wheel now, so you can see the condition of the rear wheel, all in really nice condition. No smart repairs on there or anything like that. We'll come to the front. Again, really nice condition. And I'll just come back out on this side without falling over the plant, he says. And there's the view from this side of the car. While we're on this side, it's worth pointing out all around the filler cap, you know, an area to watch out for scratches from fuel nozzles. No damage on there at all. Really nice and clean even in there. Now, while we're outside the car, I wanted to point out these little triangles on the outside, just here. I don't know if you can just see that. And they light up. They're part of blind spot monitoring and the cross traffic alert system. So if you're reversing or driving forward out of a blind area, you can't see because of parked cars. The parking sensors and the radar at the front sense to see if there are other cars, and it will light those up and warn you inside the car so you don't reverse into anyone or drive out in front of someone. So very clever systems. Okay, so there's one more little look from back here. And there's the other mirrors, sorry, there's the cameras just under the mirrors or on the end of the mirrors, part of the 360 cameras. It's going to open up. Now, this has got the Merino, the BMW, individual Merino leather. Now, in the video, it always looks quite bright, but in real life, as it were. It's not as bright as that. It's a little bit more matte and a bit more deeper, the colour. So it's not as garish as it looks in the video, but it's a really nice interior. And it's BMW's top of the range leather, above the Napa leather. And it comes from hides that are inspected for any scarring and stuff like that. And then it's all, I believe it's hand stitched as well. And you've got this lovely diamond sort of pattern stitching. And on the base, contrasting stitching on the outer parts of the leather. And all of the seats are electric with the bolster button, which inflates the sides of the seats here and here. And the driver's side will be memory. One of the other things on this vehicle is it has the, I think it's galvanized embellished switches. So instead of these switches being black, they're in a sort of galvanized sort of silvery color. So is the trim. And also around, let me just come out. You notice all the buttons on here around the knobs, they're not black, they're all in a really nice, as it says, galvanized color. And it really just finishes and makes the interior a lot more classier. And then we've got all the lighting. We've got it in purple at the moment. Got the lighting along the top. You can change this to various different colors. There's about 3 different lights. I think there's some underneath, look, under there. And then there's some further down in the door and around the handles. Now if we look at the door shuts, all of the M40i plates are in nice condition. All of the mats are in nice condition. All of the carpets underneath we've checked. There's no damage on the fascias or anything like that. And then we've got this really large panoramic roof that opens up. We've got electric blind as well. The headrests pop forward as well. Then you've got that button on the side to take them back. All of the leather on the center armrest, no damage there. All of the black gloss here has been very carefully machine polished as well to bring back its beauty and shine. We'll show you more of that when we come round to the other side. So let's take a look in the back. Again, starting with the door card, no damage on either of the door cards. In fact, there's a little, probably better clear that back. There's a tiny little, just spotted that, didn't see it before. It's just lifted up on the edge there, but I'm sure we can do something with that. Very minor though, and it's right on the edge, so you don't see it inside the car. It's probably caught a seat belt. Got the lights down there. All of the shuts, really nice condition. Carpets, the rear of the front seats, no scratches or anything there. And then we've got a separate climate control. It's not turned on because the ignition is off. But this is a digital single display for the temperature in the rear, and you can adjust where the air comes out from the floor or these vents here. And no damage on the vents. We've obviously got Isofix, and that sort of dent here on the levers where we've been leaning in the car to wipe it over a minute ago. That will disappear in time. Center armrest, drop down headrest in the center. You see the lighting and the door on the other side there. So all lovely there. Now the other thing that this car's got, and this is an optional extra, if you pop this lever here, it will bring the seats just forward a few inches to allow you more space in the rear. And I guess if you've got a large box or something, you've been to Curry's or somewhere like that, I'll just put that back. It just gives you that little bit more room. In fact, the other side is still further out than this side. Can you see that? Well, I've just pushed this one back a bit. So it makes it slightly more upright, but you don't lose the seating in the back of the car. Okay, so coming round to the rear. Now, having the comfort access, we can just swoop our foot underneath the back of the car with the key in our pocket. The boot opens automatically. We've got two switches up here. There would usually only be one. We can either close the boot or we can lock the entire car from the boot. There is a setting in the iDrive which gives you the option to lock just the boot or lock the entire car, whichever suits you. Now, just coming down here, the rear bumper. Now, this is all perfect now, all the way along here, all the rubbers, no marks or scratches. We've got extended storage in the car as well. Just want to show you the blind, show that there's no damage on it. There's no damage on the interior headlining around. I'll show you that because sometimes people obviously jamming stuff in the car, this area can be scratched or ripped, and the same up here, but it's all good. And then the extended storage, we've got these elasticated belts here. This is all fine here as well now. We've got this sliding rails. You can move these points up and down the vehicle. Just bring that back. It's the same as the other side because I'm a bit anal like that. And then all the boot carpet, as you can see, all in really nice condition. And very important, just to show you the top back edge. I've already checked these, by the way. There's no rips in the leather up here, no scuffing. There you go, that's a better view, look. And then underneath, we can lift this up. We've got some added storage under here, and that's quite deep. There's probably about, I don't know, 9-10 inches deep, that floor well there. And then in the back here, the blind that runs across the back will actually slide in under the left-hand side and fit in here, so you don't have to leave it in the garage where it will get damaged. We've got the locking wheel nut. Now, I'm going to open up this door so we can show you the seats. Dan's just going to open up the other side. So we'll just, in fact, we'll just quickly pop that seat back. There we go. Now, like I say, the blind can come back, but we've got levers on the side here. When you pull them, the seats just drop down nice and conveniently. And obviously the blind can come out and go underneath. But look at the space you've got. You have to sort of visualise it without this blind. Let me just try and put that level, give you a better idea. But you've then got this huge booted area, and it runs quite flat. There's a slight raise at the front. And then we'll come round to this side. Dan's going to shut the other door for me. Now, there's no damage on this door card because I've just checked when I walk round. All in really nice condition. Thanks, Dan. And all round on the shut. And we've got the seat down, as you can see. So we'll put that up like so. Now, I've not closed the boot. Now, I could do that with my foot, but I've got the key. So I'm just going to press and hold the button on the key fob, and that's closed down. I can't tell you, the leather is such a much nicer colour than in this video. I can see how bright it looks. Hopefully it won't come out quite like this. It's surprising sometimes when the videos get posted. They actually sort of, I don't know, the iPhone seems to just sort it all out sometimes. But it's much better in the flesh, I can assure you. And it's such a nice interior. The feel of the leather is superior to the Venesca or Dakota leather. It's just softer and more supple. So there's the driver's door card. Again, no damage. And you'll notice straight away that the buttons, the galvanised buttons, stand out and look so different compared to being black. We've got the electric folding button here, boot button there as well. And then we've got the memory seat position there. That will actually memorise the seat and the wing mirrors for you. And then if we look down at the shot, let's just try and get that in a better, there we go. Really nice, and all the badges with your tyre pressures, etc., all intact. Now let's take a good look at the driver's seat. Again, no damage to the leather. You check out the bolsters at the side as well, and the base. So in beautiful condition. Got auto lights. Let's just make sure that's turned up. There we go. And then the steering wheel, all of the leather around the steering wheel, really nice condition. And it's all been properly cleaned very cautiously to bring it back to its natural effect, which is a slightly matte finish. What happens with steering wheels over the course of time is they go black and shiny, but that's not the original finish of the leather. That's just the grease from your hands that builds up. And this has been very gently cleaned to bring back that natural finish. And just nice to buy a car that's had, you know, everything cleaned properly as well, to be honest with you. Just show you that we've got the heads-up display, part of the technology pack that's on the car. Another pack. Right, I'm going to jump in. Let me, right, the first thing I'm going to do actually is we're going to start her up, and then I'm just going to close the blind for now because there's a lot of light. Now that blind comes all the way from the back. You can hear that lovely purr from that exhaust. It's a valved exhaust on the M40i, so the near side exhaust has a valve on it which is closed until you go over, I think it's about 3,500 revs, or it's in sport mode. So we've got the professional meter with the digital cockpit. Now at this stage they don't show the map in the centre, but we've got other features that we can show you. Now I'm going to start with the heads-up display. Now bang in the middle of that 4 Series, that new shape 4 Series there, you'll see the speed limit. Now if I zoom in a bit more, entries, mode, save stations, there we go. We can flick. Wow, that's, oh yeah, there we go. You can see me flicking through it. This will also show you your navigation. It's showing the speed at the bottom. And if we come down to the, let's just zoom out. Let's just do it quickly. Now, if we come into this system here, I just want to show you, see when you flick down here, you can see the sub menus over this side. So if we come down to iDrive settings and go into here, displays, this is where, let me just try and move this over. We can move into the heads-up display. Now we can adjust the brightness, the height of it, and the rotation. So if it seems a little bit wonky, put out to the side like so, you can adjust that. You can have standard, where it shows you as much information. In fact, it'll even show you the adaptive cruise control, as you can see in the picture there. Let me just zoom in on that. See that? And the mapping and everything. Or you can reduce it. Or individually, you can set it, and then you can choose what you have in there. So I'm just going to put it back to standard. Come out of there, control display, that's the main display, instrument cluster, so that's the main instrument cluster, and that's got everything ticked on there as well. Magnify, so this is quite a nice feature. If we turn that, off, just seeing, how do you turn it off? Maybe you can't because of something else being left on the car. But basically, as the needle comes up around the speed, it magnifies the speed so you can see it a lot clearer, especially at night. Now, we've got the BC button over here for this display as well. That's down at the bottom there, so you can see you've got the compass and other features down there. obviously got paddle shift. Now the mode button and the wheel here, voice control, is for the heads up display that we've just showed you. And then on this side, get this in focus, right, this is where we have cruise control, speed limiter, so you can set the speed you don't want the car to go over. But when the cruise control is on, now I don't think it's going to do it because we're in park, but that's just, so cruise control, yeah, cruise control cannot be activated. But basically you can set, will it not let me do it? No. But with this button here, you keep pressing it and it will show you an image of the car getting closer to the one in front or further away. And then this button here is for the lane assist with steering intervention. Now I can show you the options for that. If we go into reverse, I'll show you more of this in a minute. Settings. So we have the automatic activation for self-parking. So I think on this car, because they all vary at different ages, with the self-parking you would line the car up, press and hold the, I think it's the park button, and it will completely park the car on most of these newer vehicles. So that's really clever. And then this one here, let me go into it actually. Now this is for emergency brake intervention. Yeah, so if you're reversing and this is active, we'll turn it off for now actually. When it's active, if anybody passes behind the vehicle, or if there's something behind the vehicle, it will automatically apply the brakes so you don't run someone over or back into someone. Let me just go back to where we were with the cameras actually. So I should have pressed the back button, no I didn't. And then we've got the park assist that we spoke to, that's the sound if parking space detected. Now the cross traffic alert, with the parking view activated, acoustic and visual warnings are emitted at driveways, exits, road junctions with restricted view. So basically it uses the parking sensors and the radar at the front to sense if there's another vehicle. It will warn you in the car, and it will also warn you with that little triangle on the end there, which will light up either amber or red. Now let's go back a window. And also the panoramic view can be set to come on based on a set GPS location that you put in. So if you wanted it to automatically come on when you're getting home because you've got a narrow drive or something, or a gate that you need to come through, when you hit that point you can go into the settings and select it, and it'll memorize that point and it will come on automatically. Very clever indeed. Now let's go back to the cameras. So let me just go from park into reverse. Now as you can see, we've got the reverse camera here, it says rear at the top, and then over on this side we've got the 360 camera. Now it says auto here. Now if you click on this, you'll notice, if I get the, you can select around the car, look, and you can look at the car. The image is basically reversed so that you can see all around the car. Now you see this ring that's been brought up now. There's also a gesture. Now I believe if gesture control, there we go. So there's a sensor above up here, and you can use gestures as it's saying on the screen. If I come back, there you go. By releasing your hand when you come back, it stops the gesture. Bring the gesture back in and you can pull the car round like so. So you don't have to press the buttons. And once you get used to this, it's quite handy. So like that, you can just see all around the car, or you can just pre-select a point on here. Now we also have, this is, I think they say this is for when you go to the car wash, but I dare anyone to take one of these highly polished cars to a car wash. It should be done properly at home. But there you go. If you do, it's your vehicle. This is so you can line up in between those rails that they have in the car washes to locate you in the middle. So you don't want to be scratching your wheels on there. So you can centerize the vehicle. If I turn the steering wheel, look, you can see that. And there are a few other features that I can never remember how to bring them on, i.e. It shows you a picture with the doors open as well. Not that one, that was that feature. Okay, so we've got the front. Now what I'm going to do, we're in reverse. I'm going to put it into drive. And I'm going to press the camera button. So we've also got a camera button down here in the center. And this is showing you the front view. And just down here, you can actually see the number plate and there's a yellow line. So you can bring the car right up to another car and see exactly what you're doing. I don't think there's any. Ah, there we go. Add activation point. That's for the GPS based bit. Show activation points or settings. So let's just go in there again. Okay, put that back on. Settings, and we're back to there. So yeah, okay. So there you have it. We've got the 360 view, which you can move around. Oh, let's just try that. Oh, there you go. And then you can move it around, as I say. There you go. Takes a bit of getting used to, but very clever indeed. So I think we showed you. This is the parking one up here, and I believe you put your indicator on as you're approaching the car parking space, like you would normally park. And then when you stop, there's a little message that comes up on the screen, and I believe, I might be wrong because it varies on car to car and different ages, you press and hold the park button, hold your finger on it and just watch your surroundings, and it will automatically park the car for you. Right, this button here, this is a shortcut. In fact, let's put it in park so we can release that. Turn that off. This button here, turn that one off as well. We are in park and the handbrake's on. We've also got auto hold down here as well, so you can auto hold the brake. Let's exit this back to home page, and then if we press this button, this is where you can configure. Oops, sorry, didn't realise that. We've got pedestrian alert. So this will warn you if a pedestrian comes out. We've then got the collision warning for the front, so you don't go into a car, and you can set that early, medium or late. The lane departure warning, you've got the option for always or reduced. So it's sensitivity as well. Oh, how did I go there? No, not that one, sorry. I'm getting myself all confused here. Right, this one, sorry. There we go. I've got to go back, that's why. And this is the steering intervention. So basically, above 40 miles per hour, if you drift outside of the lane, the steering wheel will actually pull you back in. Lane change warning. So the lane departure warning, lane change warning. Right, lane change warning will be the blind spot monitors, I think. That's that one with the triangles. Steering wheel intervention, and then we've also got side collision warning, so you can put that on or off. So there's quite a good read on this online about what it does. Give way warning, warning if driver does not give way. So it's a very intelligent system. No wonder why it's a £2,000 odd option in the car. So lots going on there with these upgrades that are on the car. Just while I'm remembering things, I just wanted to show down here we have the wireless Bluetooth charging, and we also have the display key, and this you can use slide up to unlock, to close the car up. You can move it across the side. Vehicle information, let's go in. That's loading data. There you go. Look, all of your servicing on the vehicle is in there as well. Oh, sorry, you're not in focus. Let me just bring it. Try and get it in focus. That's all your service items in there. Vehicle check. And then I think if we go back one more, the fuel in the car. You can set the timer for the fan to come on. And this is all chargeable down here. When you put it down there, the little blue light comes on and charges the key up. There is also a little, I think it's a USB-C port on the side or something like that, so you can plug it in as well. So close that back up. Right, coming back up to the display, that's drop down and show you we've got tire pressure monitor, and temperature, your engine levels. If we go into the service requirements, that's where I was headed. And then in here, so that was the PDI, oil and microfilter change. And then we've got the brake fluid, which is 3 years on the first one, and then 2 years after that. And then this was a large service, spark plugs included, and all done way within time, because they are about 19,000 miles between services. So what's that, 28 is done at 25. The very fact that it says 2 months over, well, neither here nor there, it's well under the mileage. So all that is up to date. So we come out of there, the engine oil is not due to another year or 12,000 miles. We'll still send the vehicle in for an inspection and check the brakes. On these later ones, by the way, the brake warning of how many miles left on your pads doesn't come up until the brake pads get low. They don't show it in the iDrive like a countdown anymore. They work slightly differently. This is all touchscreen up here, by the way. Wanted to show you that. My vehicle, iDrive settings, there was a couple of other things. Doors, keys, tailgate. We can set the tailgate on the button. You can adjust the height of which the tailgate opens, or whether it opens with the doors. Tailgate, which one was that? Oh, that's the one. Yeah, so we can adjust the height of how far, in case you've got a garage with a low door. So that's all in there. Relock automatically, lock after pulling away, unlock at end of journey, switch off after door opening, flash for unlock. Automatic roof closing. So we're going to show you how that works at the end of the video. Intelligent safety, we've done all of that. Steering wheel vibration, you can set how strong you want it to vibrate. Speed limit assist, so suggest adopt a speed when there is a new speed limit. So we'll actually give you a warning of the speed limit changing, I believe. I think I've noticed that on quite a few of the newer cars now. Attentiveness assistant, in case you're starting to get sleepy, it picks up on the sensitivity of the steering wheel, etc. Your parking. So we pretty much, climate comfort, you can adjust the rear climate, etc. And the seat heating, you can set the seat heating to come on automatically at a given temperature and what level you want it to come on at. So as I said at the beginning of the video, there's lots to go through on here, and there are a few other bits and pieces I just wanted to go through. I'm just trying to think where they are. Communication, in fact, if we do the navigation while I'm thinking about it, there is Apple CarPlay on this vehicle as well. So address input, we can use the iDrive wheel to put a postcode in. Whoops. Let's go back. My left-handed writings needs a little bit of help. And then to do a space, a line across, and then we'll put our postcode in. 5RY. And then you select that, etc. Start your guidance, and off you go. Now with the map, always like to point out these buttons along here you can save telephone numbers on these buttons, and as you run your finger along them, they come up just at the top there. Now we're currently in perspective view. I'm going to save that to button number 7, and it will save it in there. If we come down on the left hand side, we can set in direction of travel. We'll save that on button number 6. So depending which view you want on the screen, this is better for built up areas, and this view I believe is better for like when you're on the motorway. You can just press 6 or 7, it'll flip between the views. You've got lots of additional information in here as well. You can have satellite image, so when you zoom, oops, let me come across. When you zoom out, for example, the map changes. There we go, like a Google Earth type of view, etc. Now what else is in here? I'm bound to remember it by the time I've finished the video. So let's come down. We've got dual climate control. Again, love these buttons. Have a look at another vehicle that's got black buttons, and then have a look at the interior of this one. It's much nicer, much nicer. Oh, I know what we can do. We've got all the books in there. If we go to my vehicle, I'll try not to bore you for too much longer with the interior, but I just want, this is where you can set the gestures, by the way, and it gives you tips for different messages and what they do. For example, turning the stereo up, wind your finger around. Now displays, data units, sound. We've got the HARMAN KARDON sound system there, wireless tray. Where were we going? Wasn't in that one. Driver profiles, we can set up driver profiles. Wasn't there. Vehicle settings, sorry, speed warning, lights, that's what I was looking for. Interior lighting, so you can set the brightness, and then we can change the color. We can have green. I'll just show you on the door card there. I think we've got orange. I think we've got another color down here, lilac, blue. So you can pick whichever color. I'll just show you down here as well. And you can split it, so it's blue and white, and it'll sort of fade out on the top. It's a bit hard to show you in the daylight, but you can also have orange or bronze. The orange looks quite nice actually, it sort of matches with everything. Okay, got a cubby hole in here. I think we've pretty much done all that. I've got a list here, so I think we've done. I'll tell you the other thing that this vehicle has is acoustic glazing, which drops the, while I'm talking, I'm going to open the roof, drops the noise levels inside the car by, I think it's about 3 or 4 decibels with the acoustic glazing. Preparation, we've got the Driving Assistant Plus, we've done all that. Apple CarPlay will photograph that. Variable sports steering will actually adjust the weight of the steering. Glad I mentioned that. So our drive modes. So you'll notice not all of the cars have the adaptive suspension. We've got Eco Pro through to Comfort and Sport. So if we press Eco Pro, first of all, this display has changed and gone blue. I'll just press it again. There we go. Now, we've got settings within the drive modes. Now we can configure these, and what you'll notice down here is we're 90% efficient. So this setting basically makes the throttle a little bit more limper and reverts for better fuel economy. If we reduce this speed down to, say, well, let's bring it down to 65. We're up at 95% now. Coasting, this allows the car to coast up to a junction without engine braking. So it's sort of like free rolls. coast. And we've got Eco Pro climate settings. You can adjust how strong the power is being given to all of these. The lights, road ahead assistance, it'll warn you or let you know what's coming up so you can take your foot off earlier. And then further down we've got the damping, so this is where the adaptive suspension comes in. We can have it on comfort or sport, and with the variable sport steering, which tightens up the steering, we can do the same, comfort or sport, or we can press the comfort button to go to a balance setting, or sport, where we've got standard, plus, which will turn off some of the traction control, and then individual, which we can configure. And here we've got damping, sport and comfort, the steering again, sport and comfort, and so on. And with the engine we've got sport and sport plus, so another step up. And the transmission the same, we can put that'll hold the gears longer. So basically that's all of our sport settings for the engine, gearbox and suspension. And also when we're in gear, we can move this over to the left and put the gearbox in a further sport. So let's put that down there. Right, I'm going to leave that paperwork down there. I don't believe we need that. Now, I'm going to jump out now. I'm just going to make sure I haven't left it in gear. I'm going to pop the bonnet. In fact, we'll turn the car off. Now, I've purposely left the roof open. Oh, yeah, I should be able to lock that. Now we've popped the bonnet. Oh, 2 pulls. I should have known that, shouldn't I? So a second pull's required to release the bonnet. Now here's the engine bay with this beautiful straight 6 twin powered turbo engine. Now all of the engine bay is cleaned meticulously. All of the bulkhead up here, all these panels are taken off. It's all hoovered in there, cleaned out, make sure there's no leaves blocking anything, no debris in there. We don't just throw a jet wash inside the engine bay. We clean it all out there. You don't want to block up any of the drainage holes. It's very important because you'll get water flowing through and building up in there, and it'll eventually make its way into the car. So that's all done properly. Now I think these from memory are around about 340 brake, roughly. Might be a bit more, but it will be in the advert. So great power. No, this is the 340i. So these are about 360 brake. I'm sure this is 360. The 340d is 340. So I think this is near a 360 or maybe even a bit more. Depends on the year, I think. But fantastic power from this petrol 6-cylinder engine. Lovely and clean in here. And all up underneath as well. I'm going to bring that down now. Now, we've left the roof open, as you can see. Now, let's say we've locked the car up and we've gone to have some lunch in the pub or something, and it starts to spit with rain. Now, Dan's going to spray some water onto the windscreen, and I hope to God I haven't turned the setting off. There you go. And it automatically closes the roof and leaves it in the vented position. I think it was just waiting for a dribble to run down in front of the sensor. So it uses the rain sensor to close the roof up so you don't soak the interior of the car. So another nice feature on this car. So as I say, I think I've covered most things, but it's got so much on it, this vehicle. It's almost impossible for me to remember everything. But please give us a call if you have any questions. But there we have it, our X3 M40i with 31,998 miles, I think it was. And if you need any finance, we've got some amazing warranty options as well for this vehicle. The prices are so competitive. but don't be put off because the policy, the cover, it's wear and tear. You can have a policy that even covers oil seals and gaskets, should you want something like that. And you can take it right up to 4 years. So if you're doing a PCP or something like that, then basically you can cover the car against any mechanical things, or electrical for that matter. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I hope it's been useful and informative. It's a beautiful example. Please give us a call if you've got any questions. Take care now. Bye.